engagements. So Peter, thanks a lot for joining this call and facilitating this session for us. We are hoping that this session will give us enough insight for us to dirty our hands on SXA. So without wasting any time, I'll pass it on to you, Mitt. You can take it forward from here.
Thank you very much. My name is Peter Procházka, and welcome to my session about Sitecore Experience Accelerator with title Content Creation with SXA. Sitecore Experience Accelerator, or SXA, is a Sitecore module with tremendous features that come out of the box. These features can help you create content quickly with well-defined info. Let's take a look what I have prepared for you today. I will begin my talk describing what is SXA and also why you should use it. However, majority of this session will be hands-on, and I will show you how SXA works and also how to work with SXA. I will walk you through creation of a small microsite from scratch, fulfilling some common scenarios and requirements that organizations have when it comes to content and content creation. Even though this session is aimed for developers and content editors, I believe that also marketers and all the rest of you from Sitecore world will enjoy it nonetheless. Before we jump in, let me quickly introduce myself. I'm Sitecore Solutions Architect at the Accenture Evanate. I'm experienced in Sitecore for almost 5 years now, and with ASP.NET for I'm three-time Sitecore certified developer and Sitecore Experience Commerce 9 certified developer. I'm active blogger and blogging on my website tothecore.sk. I have chosen this domain as I grew up and still happily live with my family in this beautiful country called Slovakia in Europe. You can also find me on Twitter at Horpo. Fun fact, Horpo is my childhood nickname. Enough about me. Let's jump into our topic today. As I already mentioned, SXA stands for Sitecore Experience Accelerator. I have highlighted accelerator on purpose because it nicely describes the module in its essence. It's an accelerator, a framework, and not like Habitat, used as a starter kit. A starter kit that brings all sorts of functionality that developers are usually building from ground up for each and every Sitecore implementation they do. Let's take a close look on some common roles during Sitecore implementations and how SXA can help them accelerate their work and practices. SXA gives around 60 to 80 components out of the box for content editors. These are visible and selectable from Toolbox and can be used to create content really just minutes or seconds after provisioning new Sitecore instance with SXA installed. No more waiting for comped and styled at the beginning of the project. If you have content strategy in place, you are really good to go creating content with SXA. If content editors lack some components, developers can either create rendering variants for the existing components or create new components easily for them. Developers, on the other hand, receive components which are Helix compliant, so adding in their own components should be a matter of minutes. It brings them also grid system, themes, pages, partial design, page and partial designs, rendering variants, and lots of other great features and concepts that I will show you in a moment in demo. SXA has also creative live exchange functionality, which helps front-end and back-end developers to collaborate. With its export and import, they can work nicely in parallel with their own tooling. Marketers will like that components which come with this module are fully personalizable through setting rules. Standard Sitecore A/B testing is also possible without any problem. Pages have out-of-the-box fields to improve SEO, and SXA can also generate sitemaps automatically. It is up to the marketers whether they need dynamic sitemaps or static ones are just fine or sufficient. Just by changing one setting, they can achieve either of them pretty quickly. Administrators can easily administer structure of items with multi-tenant and multi-site, multi-brand, multi-language, whatever you can name it, features of SXA. SXA adds new commands to create, remove, and also administer tenants or sites. They can configure sites through SXA Site Manager, so we don't need to create config files or create the patching config files like it was in the past, which eventually resulted in a restarting of the IIS. So we can basically create new sites on the fly without a restart, which is pretty neat. I have talked about roles so far, but SXA can definitely processes and delivery of the whole project. So basically also decrease time to market rapidly. I have already mentioned creative live exchange, which can really speed up backend and front-end collaboration and back and forth round trips between these teams are not so often anymore. Front-end developers are not dependent anymore on Sitecore tooling, and actually they don't need to even have Sitecore installed on their dev machines, like it was in the past without SXA. Asset Optimizer minifies and optimizes cascading styles and also JavaScript files for you. So we don't need to care about these anymore. Lots of additional the experience and content editor definitely is use of Sitecore for everybody. In Experience Editor, there is a special Experience Accelerator toolbar, which adds possibility to values within Experience Editor. I will also show it to you in a moment. It also lets you work with page and partial designs, set themes, various other activities without switching to Content Editor. On the other hand, in Content Editor, you have lots of new commands in context menu. Let's now look why you should use or start using SXA and convinced you so far. I've already scratched some of the great features of SXA when I was talking how it helps accelerate. But let me now go through these features a bit more in detail. SXA has a toolbox where you can find toolbox that you can also see on the slide as a screenshot, where you can find many pre-built components grouped by sections. You can find there various types of components, such as row and column splitters, page list, promos, map, media components like image and video, social related components, composite types like accordion, steps, carousels, snippets, just to mention a few of them. SXA gives you unified structure, the information architecture, if you want to name it that way, of tenant sites and Sitecore items out of the box. It creates a site structure where you can store pages, component data, setting items. It's also ready to be installed on PaaS. It has predefined themes and a couple of grid systems to choose from. Bootstrap is default one, but you can pick also Foundation or a 960 grid. If you would like to use a different one, you are free to do it. SXA is easily extensible, also in this case. In SXA 1.8, so the latest version, you can also choose Bootstrap 4. So really the latest and greatest version of Bootstrap. Renderings are mobile first and responsive. There are also special JSON renderings in the toolbox that you can help you work with Sitecore in more headless fashion. See how JSS and SXA will be integrated in the future, so it will really streamline the headless development. There is only one prerequisite for installing SXA, and that is Sitecore PowerShell extensions or SP module. You can find this module on Sitecore marketplace. Let's take a look what are the page and partial designs and the rendering variant as really nice concepts which SXA comes with. So a page design in SXA is a selection of partial designs and renderings that help you structure your pages. You can also set up a page structure for specific pages, page, event page, product page, or press release page, for instance. You can use the partial designs to create the design elements of your pages quickly for a consistent style and look and feel. For example, you can create parts of your page once, such as headers and footers, and then reuse them everywhere on your site. You can construct your pages by drag and drop in components directly where you need them. These components are called renderings, and they are listed in the toolbox in the Experience Editor. Rendering variants can make rendering appear differently, or they can make it show different content. For example, the list rendering can have different variants for product list, detail list, or thumbnails list, for instance. As you can see on current slide, promo rendering, here you can have two rendering variants. Promo with image, called text promo. For promo with image, basically promo would be in the background and text would be probably overlaying it. In the later case, for the text promo, image field wouldn't be shown at all, and title would be emphasized. As I have promised earlier, a demo follows. I will create a small microsite with news and press releases, with some site-specific header and footer. I will show you toolbox and how to configure and use some of the out-of-the-box renderings or components. I will not write a single line of code because I want to show you what you can achieve or what can be achieved with SXA without much effort. I will also create some page and partial designs and rendering variants to make some content look in various places. Let's head to my Sitecore instance then now. In order to run Sitecore SXA, you need to install PowerShell extensions. So this is the module, and then that's like a first package, and then you need to apply another one, this one, and you have on your instance, then you have Sitecore SXA installed. I have already created some of the assets that I will use during this demo, just to speed up the things for us. So I have already created a tenant. underneath the Sitecore content. As you can see, I have named it Sitecore. It's based on the Sitecore tenant template. I have already created three sites. Sorry. We will use the Sitecore sim site. So we will basically, let's say, create a small microsite, with some Sitecore symposium information or detail. So what you can do, it's pretty simple. So if you right click on Sitecore content, you can create a tenant. Once you create the tenant, you can also create a site or site folder. If you don't know which templates to use or how to structure it, I definitely recommend looking into this really nice article from Barend, Emersal, about the site structure. It's basically the site structure guide for the SXA, and from here you can basically download the PDF file where you can questions and answers. You can get to the right structure based on your setup. So there are questions like where you are a multi-company, multi-brand, or there are some multiple sites, and lots of other really nicely formulated questions which can help you choose which structure of the tenant folders, tenants, site folders, or sites you need to have. Really, I really recommend you this article to follow once you start. So basically here we have only some simple structure. So we have one tenant and we have a couple of sites. For this demo, we will use the Sitecore sim site. What I have also created under the templates, as you can see, I already have feature foundation and project folders, and also underneath I have already some experience accelerator. These folders or these items are coming from SXA package. If you are starting your new project, it would be great if you use these folders. So basically under the feature foundation and project, you just create your own folder with the project name, and you put all of the templates related to those features also. So basically you won't touch the SXA which are out of the box. As I have already created a tenant with name Sitecore, SXA created also automatically templates for this tenant, as you can see under the project item. So here there are some page and partial design and page design templates. What I have done, I have created another item, news, and underneath I have created a couple. A news one will be used for just to have basically the insert options for the news article and press releases, and also to make it as a bucket list. So if I go to the item buckets, you see that in the standard values. Just a second. And if we go down a bit, item bucket. So as you can see, the news is bucket, and I have specified the insert options. But it's really pretty simple. Press releases only inherit from the news article, just to have a different template name, because I want to show you what are some pretty nice features of SXA doing this. So in the news article, I have just two fields, one section which is called news, and two fields, intro and published, which are single line text and daytime. And for the standard values, I just put there for the title. I have I have specified as a name, also for the content, so I don't need to go through the whole, so I don't need to type them in. I just want to have some dummy data created automatically for me. Also, the intro is always, or the introduction text is always, using the $name token and intro. Same also goes for the press release. So I have the two templates. What we will do, we will create a new news item like this. Okay, nice. I will just remove the buckets for now, so it's quicker. Now, yeah, so this is the current setup. Let's start with some content editor enhancements that SXA brings you. So as you already saw, there are some templates already in the package, so they're also accessible for you from Sitecore to create new tenants and sites. If you right-click in the content editor under the script section, you have various options to remove the tenant, add tenant modules. You can also download tenant as one package, so you don't need to go to the package designer, select the items, but you can basically you can download the package with the whole tenant. You have a similar options also for the site. The remove site and remove tenant are great features because with the delete button, still there will be some links associated to those items somewhere around floating. So it's always good to remove site and tenant. Using this functionality, you can also clone the sites. You can add side languages. So there are really various options here. So this is the content editor. Let's maybe open now Experience Editor. You can also open Experience Editor by right-clicking on any of the page. Meanwhile, this is loaded. I have mentioned that there is a functionality. So if you go to the System Settings, Foundation, Experience Accelerator, Theming, Optimizer, you have here two options, Scripts and Styles. Setup where you would like to have the scripts or the styles to be concatenated and minified, or you want to disable this functionality at all, or you would just to have, you would like to just concatenate the scripts and all the styles. The same is also for the styles. So this is one of the features that I mentioned. In the Experience Accelerator, as you can see, the is the default page design. Basically, every page which SXA has by default 3 placeholders that you can use: header, main, and footer. You saw that on the top you have a new toolbar, Experience Accelerator. This toolbar is only available for SXA sites. So if you, for instance, open Experience Editor for the home item, which is the default one when you install Sitecore, you won't see that toolbar because that toolbar is only applied for SXA sites. Just that if you are, wondering why you cannot see that toolbar somewhere else, this is only available for SXA sites. So this is the toolbar. From here, you can basically create new partial designs. You can set up the page designs. You can also pick page designs. You can change the themes for the current site. You can also, as I mentioned, you can really do nice SEO. So you can change the title. You can add some page keywords, page description. You can also modify some sitemap settings. You can also really play with some social and how to make the page more compliant. Twitter or Facebook. So basically filling in the fields which are needed for those sites to push you or to be able to share the pages much better. You can also specify the text. And what's really cool, you don't need to go into the content editor to change the fields on the items itself or on the pages, but you can click on the Add Other button and you can basically change the fields for the current page. So it's like here, for instance, you can specify where you would like to hide the navigation filter. So basically to hide the current page from the navigation, to show it to you later on. Then just to conclude the toolbar section of the presentation, here you have two buttons for export and import for the creative live exchange. Publish site. This is like a cool new feature, so you don't need to publish the whole site, but you can publish the current page, you can publish just the partial designs, you can publish the designs or the theme. So you have various options. So yeah, it's really helpful just to make the make this more quick, to publish only what's really necessary. So this is the toolbar on the top, and on the right side you can see the toolbox, which is also something specific for SXA. As I already mentioned, it gives you lots of sections of the components, with lots of components that you can just drag and drop. So really, what you can do, for instance, you can just left click on the component itself, drag and drop it, and as you can see, you will see the place where you can put it, or where it will be added. I will show it to you also later on. So you have composite components, you have map, you have various other options or components. Here you can also switch between the let's say mouse pointer and more tablet ready devices. So if you are on the tablet, well, like iPad or anything else, you can really the look and feel has been changed just to improve this to support finger-like additions of the components into the page itself. But I will switch back because I'm using mouse for now. So we have talked about some content editor enhancements, experience editor enhancements. What are the page designs? So let's maybe create one, and let's start creating this page path. Drive this. So what I will do, I will add a footer, or I will add, maybe let's start with the header from top to bottom. Now the new page, the new partial design has been created. I was also redirected to that item itself. So what we can do here, we have under the page structure, I would like to add the navigation and some image. So we will column splitter. So now I have 2 columns, but I would like to change that to be nicer. So I will change the sizes for, let's say, 4 and 8. So the first column will be size 4, and the second one will be size 8, just to have the 12 all together, which is the bootstrap thing. So now we have 2 columns, 4 and 8. In the first one, I will add some image. From the media. You see that there was a green dot pulsing a bit. That means that the component is being added. So what I will do, I will just change the image. I will choose Sitecore logo. And in the second column, I will just add the navigation. So as you can see, if you already have something in the placeholder, it will give you this kind of arrow, so where you can place the components like above or below already added components. But for now, I want to add it into the second column. So as you can see, it's highlighted in the blue. And obviously in the navigation, currently we have only one item, which is news. So that's why it's shown here. I will save it. So this is the first partial design that we have created. Let's quickly create another one. let's call it footer. Okay, I will again use my favorite column splitter. This time, as we are creating footer partial design, I will put it into the footer. Here I will change it to 444, just to have the same sizes of the three columns. And this one. And if I click here, you see that I have also the plus button. So I will add a new column. Like by default, all the columns have size 6. So I will again change it to 4. And now we have 3 columns, 4, 4, 4, with size 4. Now we can add. I will save it. This is really like a must-have thing when you are using SXA to save as much as possible, not to lose some data source linkages between the items. Okay, so what we will do on the left side, I will just add the link list. I want to have it in the current side. So basically here you can specify whether you would like to have it for the current side or it will be under the data of the current item. So if you think about it, here under the home, then the data folder would be created and the link list would be created underneath. Or if you are on the side level, then all of the components are created under the under here into the proper sub-item. So under the data, it would be then link list. Creating a footer link list for the whole site, I will create it under the site. So I will choose link list and I will name it footer links. Again, save it. Just for the demonstration purposes, I just want to show you that it was saved. So yeah. Under the data, we have the link lists and the footer link lists have been added. So just quickly add some links. So let's maybe change the title. So useful links. And let's start fulfilling this. So first link, just quickly. Link description would be this one, and anchor would be this one. Not internal, sorry, it's external, like this. So link description is this one, URL is this one. Okay. You need to click somewhere outside of the link, as you can see. You can again, first we need to save the page. Basically the data source will be then saved and now I can add a new one. So I will name this one link 2 to be original. For that one I will quickly change the link again to external SXA docs. With this link there is a really cool documentation for Sitecore SXA. And last but not least, I will add the SXA storefront. So link 3 for instance. And this one will be SXA storefront. SXA storefront is a special version of SXA where you have this kind of components plus the commerce component. So you can use those components to create product pages, category pages with really nice components and functionality. Okay, SXA storefront, save it once again. And as we have created links so far for just pages. Let's maybe create one as an email instead. So, and quickly, okay, and mail description would be email us, and mail to would be, for instance, this one. Okay, once again, save it. So now we have created a really simple link list without any code, pretty quickly, and with just some buttons. Yeah, pretty powerful feature. Now what we will add a map. For the current site. We will call it Sitecore Symposium. Okay, as you can see, there is some error. Let's quickly fix that. So from June or July, Google changed how the map provider works. So now you need to have the keys properly set up in your solution. So if you go to your Google console cloud, from out of these maps, you basically need to choose all of them into your account, which, as you can see, the ones which are ending with API, more or less. So for my account, I have enabled more or less all of the maps, and I just generated the credentials. So that's it. Nothing special. I just save this one, and what we will do, we will just save this one, and after the refresh, you will see that we will the Pacific Ocean, which is probably not what we want to have, right? So what we will do, we will find the location. So Walt Disney World Swan Resort. But still we are in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. I will show you why. If you go to the component, you have here, now we have selected the central map point. What's the problem is that in the parameters, we are still, it's showing all possible point of interest. So what we need to do, we need to change it to, as you can see, the longitude and latitude are already specified for us. And you can change the zoom, so to be more zoom in or zoom out, and you can also specify some point of interest. I already created one, so we will use it here. I will change the width and height, so it's more proper sized for the footer, and that's it. I will hit the OK button. I will hit the Save button. And after the refresh, you can see that we are in the middle. We are next to Orlando. In 2018, this year was situated, and also it's as a center point of the map. So this is done. I will quickly show you to configure the point of interest. As you can see, when you click on the mark, you see already some title, you see some image, and also some description. Obviously, on this small map, it doesn't look so nice, but if you have a bigger map, it would be really nicely shown at the end, nicely rendered. So under the presentation, you have the POIs, or points of interest. So I have here the Sitecore Symposium. So the title has been specified. I have specified type. If you wish, you can specify various types like headquarter, branch, dealer, or whatever. They can have different, images. They can also, you can also use animated GIFs if you wish. So it's really cool that with type you can distinguish the points of interest as you wish, and the description is basically rich text field. So yeah, you can format it as you wish. There are also some, and what I have also specified is the latitude and longitude. As you can see, you can also specify some other fields like image and point of interest page. But if we go to the rendering variant, basically it wouldn't make much more sense, because for the POI, basically those fields are not used. So you can only use the title, description, and template. What you can create your own rendering variant and maybe change it the way that you will make out of the POI page, like a link at the end. Okay, so we have created this one. We will keep this one for now. We have what we will do in the page design. I will add the header and footer partial designs that we have created into the default one. So now what we will do, I will go under the Sitecore theme. I will go to Home. I will go to News. And what I will do, I will go here to the site page designs. So for the news template, I will specify that it should use the default one. So if I now save and refresh, you see that the partial designs that we have created are nicely applied. So we don't need to do anything in the template itself. You just create partial designs, and those can be then reused on your page. So we have now the news. So let's quickly create some news and news articles. So news article 1. News article 2. I haven't specified so far a page design for this template. That's why it's looking like this. But bear with me. You will see some nice things in a second. So let's maybe create 2 more. So under the news, I will create also some press release. And I will also create one more news article. Let's call it 99. And one more, and we are done. At least to have some data. Let's maybe choose press release now. Okay, so now we have created some dummy data. Currently, as you can see, nothing can be seen. What we will do now, we will create a new page design. So again, from Experience Editor, I will create a new page design. Let's call it News. Let's use all 4 of these. Partial designs. And what we will do, we will specify these partial designs here for created. So, sorry, this one will be news, and the press release will be also news. Okay, now if we go to one of the news articles that we just created, or let's maybe do this. I will save this one. So again, the partial design. So what I will do, I will add page content into the main section. Currently, we don't have any. We don't have any variant created. So let's create quickly one. So under the page content, I will create the variant description with the news main, let's say. And we will create a template. Yeah. Template is this one, and it will be strong. Add a new one, field, published, which is great. It would be when you are adding new fields to name also the items accordingly, because the field name will be then added for you, which is pretty nice. I will use span, and I will also add some prefixes and suffixes. Intro as a field. Again as span, or yeah, span, or maybe as a div. Maybe that would be good to have it on a separate row. Let's use divider then, and we will have a content obviously. So I will also add the content here, and we will a bit restructure this. So we have a template, we have a content which will be pushed a bit after published, yes, and the published we will place here between the template and intro. I will save this one. So we have a page rendering variant for this. So what we do is this one. Yeah, I have forgotten to save the page content, but that's not a problem. So we will just quickly edit, and I will use the news main. And so as you can see, I have here the content, and really using the rendering variant pretty easily without any coding. But we have done that already for one of the press releases. This is basically not so good, I would say. So let's remove this one. And I thought that I'm in the page design. So what we will do, we will change it in the page design. So if we go to the page design, let's go from here. So in the page design, if we go to the experience edit, just quickly, I will just add the page content, and I will specify this one. So as you can see, it's like a map. But now if I open any of the news or press releases or anything else, we would see the data. So if I now select the bucket, we would see the data. Like this. And for instance, this one. Let's open it in Experience Editor. And what, I haven't saved it, or something went wrong. Or maybe this one was not specified. News, we are in the news. Okay, but yeah, basically it should be applied. What we will do now, we would like to probably see some link list or page list for the news and news article. So I will quickly maybe create a queue under the data. Sorry, under the settings, we have item queues. So I will create a new one. I will name it news, just news. Let's quickly create this one. So location would be news, right? And template is not news. So we want to have only the press releases and news articles like this. That's awesome. And what we can do now, here in the footer, I will just place the page list. And what we can do under the rendering variants, we have created the page content with the news. Yes, definitely save it. I will just duplicate this one, and I will just move it and use it for the page list, and just removing some of the stuff that we used. So I will remove the template. I will keep the published, and I will probably add title. I will remove the intro, and I will remove the content. So now we have only fields for this, and I will rename this one to latest news. So we have only these ones. I will remove the prefix, and I will maybe change this one to EM. And like this, that's pretty good. I will change the title to X link, and once we are here, what I can do, we can save this one definitely. And for the page list, you have various options, what type of data you would like to see. What I will do, I will just change the source type to our newly created all news. I will save this. And yeah, I will choose this variant. So as you can see, we have created a rendering variant which only shows these two fields in the page list. What we can do, here I will just save it. And just to show you how you can represent different data on the same page, I will just go to Home, News, and yeah, to this one. That's good. In the page list, I will again use the page list, and we can quickly create something similar to this one. And with this one, we will latest news. Let's call this one all news. I will put it here. I will remove the content because that's not something necessary. And we can maybe put there the title and field title, and again make it as a link. And we can make it like this. And instead of div, we will use the span. Okay, pretty good. And here in the news, I will just change this one. So after I save, here we are on the news page, news landing page. So we would like to see all of the news articles and press releases. So I will change this one to all news. You see that we have a pretty nice rendering variant, but instead of the latest news, I will use the all news. And here, basically the one that we just created is applied. So you see that you can also use the template name, when it was published, the title, and also the intro text. You can specify quickly, really quickly, are almost at the end. So I will use the pagination just to quickly show you. So all news. You need to use the same list signature in the component itself and also in the pagination that will be used for paginating the data source itself, just so they know about each other. So I will just place the pagination here. And yeah, current site, that's fine. Yeah, good. And here I will just quickly specify the same list signature. And you can specify here some collapse pagination threshold if you would like to show the next, previous, or you would like to show like arrows and so on. And here are good to go. I will just save this one. And we have all news as a list signature. And pagination is also using the same. So why is that not working? Always the demos, live demos are always the same. Yeah, okay, so sorry, but here you would see the pagination at the bottom of the page. So yeah, I have showed you the partial designs, page design, so lots of concepts, how you can use SXA. So let's finalize the presentation as we are almost at the finish. We came to the end. I believe that I have showed you lots of great and ready to be used features of SXA in these couple of minutes. As Albert Einstein once said, the only source of knowledge is experience. So when I finish talking in a moment, download and install Sitecore Experience Accelerator if you haven't done so already, and try it out. I can guarantee that you won't regret it, or at least you will have some fun. Information provided in this session should help you embrace SXA much easier and faster. There are also lots of other recordings available online about SXA from other Sitecore user groups, SUG, or on unofficial SXA video series that was started by father of SXA himself, Adam Najmanovic. There is also great documentation on doc.set that you can use during your SXA journey. Don't forget about Sitecore Chat on Slack and Sitecore Stack Exchange, where you can find lots of Sitecore developers and enthusiasts like myself that can help you with solving your problems or answering your questions regarding SXA and various other Sitecore related topics. You can check my blog or connect with me through LinkedIn or Twitter. If you are on Goodreads, don't hesitate to add me as your friend so we can share and recommend some good books to read. If only I have enough time to read all the books I would like to, right? Thank you for joining this session, or I don't know whether this was recorded, then also thanks for watching, and yeah, till next time. Do you have any questions?
Thank you, Peter. Team, any questions for Peter?
Yeah, hi Peter, this is Akash. So initially you told for, you're able to hear me, right?
Yes, Akash. Yes, Akash, you can please.
Yeah, so initially you told that home node we cannot use SXA, like the toolbox will not come, and for other items it is coming. So what we need to do for that so that it will come for whichever item we want?
Yeah, I would say that you need to create a site which is SXA based. It would be really forcing like Sitecore out of the box features to work with SXA, and I wouldn't recommend that. So definitely create a site in SXA, and then you will have these features there.
And
okay.
I saw also.
Hi Peter, Sumit here.
Yep.
Able to hear Peter?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. My question is regarding URL redirect in using SXA site. Actually, I'm trying to configure URL redirect in my implementation, but I'm not able to for some reason. Can you just, if you have time, you just give an example so that I can just know whether I'm going wrong or something I'm missing?
It's hard to say, you know, from it would be great maybe if you put your question on Sitecore Slack. There is a channel SXA where definitely somebody can help you, or maybe you can place a question on Stack Exchange.
Okay, no issues. I'll do that.
It's hard to say from, you know, this place if I don't know the implementation.
Yeah, makes sense. Thank you. Thanks, Peter. And also one more thing is, can you tell me about snippets? Like when do we use it, and what is the purpose of SXA snippets?
Question was when to use the snippet?
Yeah. What is snippets and when to use them? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a very good question. In my presentation, because it would be really like too much, I would say. But like partial designs are really good for footers and headers and this kind of page elements where you basically place them and you can then manage them from one place. So if I change the footer, for instance, it would be changed on every page design that it uses that partial design. But like snippet is more like when you would like to help content editors building the content. For instance, you saw that in the footer, I added like a columns splitter where I had to change the sizes. I had to put some content there. If you think about it, that for instance, if you are creating some promo boxes, to add there like a column splitter, and into each column splitter you would need to add a promo, right? So like there are lots of clicks, and with snippet you can basically create the snippet, and then a content editor can only use the snippet. So basically just choosing one of the snippets that you already created for them, and then the content would be on the page itself. So it's really like snippet is really helpful when you have like a component which you usually use together, right? And yeah, just to creating a snippet. It's something like a snippet in Visual Studio, or like a code snippet if you think about it. So you already have it, and you can like use it to create the content, like you would do with the code.
Okay.
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 Any other questions, team?
Yeah, yes, Peter. There was a form option also in the toolbox. So was it like related to WFM or Sitecore 9 forms, or how it is?
I wouldn't use web forms for marketeers, definitely, because from Sitecore 9.1, there is no web forms for marketers module anymore available. So I would really, go with Sitecore forms from
So
now
there
on.
was
Like
there was
SXA supports that,
yeah,
or
yeah, there was an option that in the
was that your
toolbox form.
question, or I?
Yeah, my question is like there was a form option in the toolbox, SXA toolbox.
Yes,
So
you have two options, either to add the Sitecore form or the web forms for marketeers.
okay,
So
so
you can add it if you use it for Sitecore 9, but I would definitely recommend migrating as soon as possible to using Sitecore forms.
okay, okay,
Okay?
yeah,
All right. In the interest of time, probably we need to stop here. So Peter, in fact, this is one of those SUG sessions where we actually ran close to 10 minutes over our original schedule, and the good thing is none of us actually felt that we have already breached our 1 hour window. So it was that interesting. The good thing is it's all practically you explained, which actually enables us to kind of go back, like you rightly called out, right? To experience it ourselves. So this session is getting recorded, and we'll soon upload it into the SUG Chennai portal under webinars section. So people who are interested to go back and revisit this session, please feel free to do so. It will be a good insight, as well as try to share among your friends as well, and cascade as much as possible. So Vita, once again, on behalf of this whole forum here, I just wanted to thank you for extending us this session. It was wonderful, having you, and it's a pleasure to have you in this session, and looking forward to have more sessions with you. Thanks a lot, Peter.
Yeah, it was pleasure. Yeah, that you had me.
Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you very much for the invitation, and hopefully till next time, maybe I can prepare some advanced presentation about SXA, so maybe we can take a look on the snippets and this kind of components.
Absolutely, mate. Whenever you're ready with your next set of presentations, you can either inform me or Nizar, and we'll be more than happy to accommodate that in one of our sessions.
Okay, awesome.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
Team, thank you all for joining. Have a great day ahead, and take care, guys. See you next week, or rather, in probably another 2-3 weeks' time. We are working out on one more session. This time we are inviting Akshay Sura. So just stay tuned to hear more from us on that subject. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks, Kishore. Thanks, Peter. Thanks, all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.